Welcome back to Students Against Drug Abuse. I'm Penny, and today we're talking about something every parent needs to hear: how to talk to your teen about drugs without pushing them away. I'm joined by Rani, a fellow student who's been researching teen behavior and risk factors.
Thanks, Penny. Honestly, so many parents want to have these conversations these days, but they don't know how.
Exactly, so let's start there. How can parents bring up the topic without making their teen immediately tune out?
First and foremost, drop the lectures. No teen wants to sit through a back in my day speech. Instead, make it a conversation. Bring up something relevant, like a news story or a movie scene that teens are actually interested in. This helps make things less awkward.
Right. If teens feel like they're being talked at, they'll shut down.
Exactly. Many parents assume that talking about drugs will encourage their teens to try them. But actually, teens who feel comfortable discussing these topics at home are less likely to experiment.
That's so important. A lot of teens try drugs because they're curious, not reckless.
Yes, and if parents react with shame or fear, teens will just hide things from them. I've seen friends struggle with this. Once a parent starts yelling, the conversation is over.
And that's dangerous, because if something does go wrong, your teen won't ask you for help.
Exactly, and stigma is a huge issue. If a teen is struggling and they're too scared to admit it, they're more likely to keep making risky choices instead of reaching out.
So, how can parents create a safe space while still setting clear rules?
Balance is the key. You can be understanding without being lenient. Instead of just saying, drugs are bad, don't do them, explain why. Talk about the health risk and the legal consequences and how addiction works.
I love that. It's about making sure teens know they have a support system.
Exactly, and boundaries should be clear and fair. If you just say, if I ever catch you doing this, you're grounded for a year, it will just make them better at hiding it.
So, focus on accountability rather than punishment?
Yeah, if a teen breaks a rule, the goal shouldn't just to be punish them. It should be to figure out why it happened and how to prevent it in the future.
Love that approach. Now, beyond just talking, what are other ways parents can reduce the risk of their teen doing drugs?
One of the biggest factors is the people around them. Encourage them to join clubs or sports that gives them a sense of purpose. Teens who feel connected to something bigger than themselves are way less likely to engage in risky behaviors.
That makes so much sense. And set an example. If a parent jokes about drug abuse, teens will pick up on that.
As they say, action speaks louder than words.
This has been such a valuable discussion, Rani. Thanks for sharing your insights.
Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap for this episode of SADA. If this conversation helps you, share it with somebody who needs it. Thanks for listening.